Welcome back. Today, we're just going to talk about having conversations. Um, Something top of my mind this morning. I'm Keith.
I'm Rodney. This is Daily Chronicle. Chronicle our days, what we're doing, journey we're on, trying to leave a trail of breadcrumbs, trail of tips and data and info for our daughters, and then build some community with you so that we can learn, be more effective fathers, husbands, business owners, employees, leaders, all that stuff. So, yeah, what we're going to talk about today.
Yeah, I have a thought on this Daily Chronicle thing that I wanted to share with you as well, but and what it actually means to me. But we've got a lot of stuff happening, and I find it fascinating. I don't find it fascinating. I'll be honest with you. I find it infuriating, annoying, and irritating that we collectively, and I mean, this is ultimately the premise of More in Common and what we've decided to do, but we have collectively accepted the reality, or it as a reality, that we have binary arguments for everything. Coronavirus is a good example, right? It's like open up or don't open up. It's like, no, there's a whole bunch of nuance in between. And there are ways that we can collectively look at it and be safe. And we can say Black Lives Matter at the same time say, yeah, the protests, this, I mean, it's unfortunately bad timing because of coronavirus. Like, we can accept the reality of all things at the same time without it being a polarizing argument. And I think part of the big reason this happens is we just don't talk enough about it because we feel like we can't, or we're stuck in our feelings about certain information that supports our conclusion, and we just don't open the dialogue with our friends, with our family, with our coworkers, or whatever the case may be. And I mean, it's a plea to stop is kind of my point. And today it's like, let's we have a really strong platform for having and navigating difficult conversations, by just creating the space when the space is appropriate, right? Sometimes I want to talk about something and sometimes you don't. You're not feeling it. So we don't talk about it that day. Doesn't mean we're never going to talk about it again, right? But we level set with each other and have communication that says, hey, like, I'm not in the mood. Like, you just told me a short time ago about one particular topic. And um, I just think we need to collectively be better. And I think it starts with making sure that we help each other navigate through relearning how to have difficult conversations.
Yeah, I don't disagree with any of that. I don't even know what to add. I'm glad I was here to affirm you. Like,
So the one thing I do want to talk about, specifically on this, that you'll be able to add some context to, is there is this principle that we talk about, and I'm happy to hear it starting to be talked about socially, is this concept of meeting people where they are. It is a principle of ours and what we've done and how we build our consultancy around, and people talk about it. And I just want to leave a couple of notes of what it actually means. I'll share my primary thought on it. It is just a basic understanding and respect for the person you're talking to, not only their life experience, they grew up differently, they have a different background, they have all of these things, but a mood. They might have gotten a crappy night's sleep last night, right? Like, so if I come to you this morning, you're tired, we're not in the best of headspaces this morning, and I just lay down that gauntlet and say, we need to talk about this one issue, and it sets you off today, right? And I suddenly ascribe everything about you going forward to that moment versus maybe taking a step back and asking you if you're okay, right? Like, are you feeling all right? Are we prepared to have this conversation? Maybe we revisit it if it's something you want to talk about later, right? Like,
mm-hmm.
just that understanding that in any given moment, someone may not be where you are for a million different reasons.
I mean, that happened this
And
morning.
yeah, and I think it's friends, it's family, and I have a thousand anecdotes to support that we fail at this all the time, and we need to be better at just meeting people where they are.
Yeah, and it's something that I just kind of do naturally. I think it's a curiosity thing for me. I'm just curious about people.
Yeah,
For the most part, there are times where, like you said, bad night of sleep, or I'm very much in my ego, feeling like I'm right about something. So then I can't even give another person space to be where they are. You know, or I think the worst and the best of it is, the worst is when we're having a conversation, but we're really having two different conversations,
mm.
and I'm arguing like, and then
This
that's like
happens
the
with my wife
worst.
all the time. Yeah.
And then the best is when I can say like, oh no, so we're talking about two different things, so let's have those conversations separately.
Right.
But yeah, meeting people where they are is crucial to like moving things forward, and probably empathy. Nah, I think it's more a compassion thing. It's more of a human thing. Like, hey, you're human. You've got and I say that some people see the two differently somehow, but you know, seeing people where they are, seeing that they're human, seeing that they have the same kinds of issues that you have, give space to give them a little bit of room. So yeah.
So when they use data that supports a claim and you use that same data that supports a claim and you draw different conclusions, the reality is both can be true at the same time. So how do you find a way to meet someone where they are so you can collectively come to a common conclusion? Because at the end of the day, let's I mean we don't move forward if we keep moving apart, right? So
Yeah.
but yeah, so I don't know if I have a question for the. This is lecturing Keith coming out right now.
How do you meet people where they are? Do you have any tricks? Do you have
Tips,
any
tricks.
tools that we can use for being present and meeting people where they are?
It's a good question. All right.